A very warm welcome to you, and thank you so much for joining our Homeopathy 24/7 podcast. We are going to be speaking to an array of international guests who will share their knowledge and experiences of homeopathy with you. We will discuss all types of subjects such as remedies, symptoms, and stories of health. No matter where you are with your homeopathic journey, we aim to inspire you on your quest to natural health and living. The podcast is brought to you by Greensmith, the founder of Homeopathy 24/7, which is a global platform connecting you with a homeopath wherever you are in the world, 24 hours a day. So let's get started with today's chat. Please welcome Mary Greensmith.
Hello everybody, lovely to see you. Thank you for joining us, and I'm pleased to welcome Dr. Anthony de Pontes. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening, Mary.
It's
been
nice
a while, but now we're here.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's nice to see you. At last, we get you here to talk about homeopathy.
That's great, yes. And we're going to be talking today about a subject, detoxification, that everybody thinks they know what it is, and it's like a buzzword today, especially with all the toxicity around us. Oh, well, I'm just going to get better. I'm going to go and do a detox, people say, and they use that term like a colloquial way. So I want to maybe extend on that a bit and bring some clarity to it, if that's good.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Because, of course, a homeopathic detox is quite different to a detox that most of our people will know and understand, isn't it? It's not about drinking soups for 2 weeks. It's not about clearing the gut in that way. Tell us a little bit more about what a homeopathic detox is and why somebody would be recommended to have a detox.
Okay, I'm going to start it the other way. One of the very big attractions for a homeopathic detox is, in inverted commas, you're not going to really feel sick. If we look at the other way that people detox, they will take all these big supplements. Nothing wrong with that potentially. It does cost a lot of money. Homeopathic detoxes are, relatively speaking, very good value for money, right? And I will call them gentle. When I say gentle, it doesn't mean they are ineffective, but they take you at a rate that your body can cope with. And I'll talk about this a bit later when I go through the phases of detox, and you'll see where the homeopathy fits in there. So gentle detox, getting the toxins out, getting the maybe there's certain nutrition that you need, making the body more akin to that and able to use it. So the organs, and we'll talk maybe specifically about the liver. There are other detox organs. The liver, I call him he's the CEO of detox. The liver, he's the head honcho, and he makes sure everything is going as it should. And if it's not, if the liver is in a poor state, you're definitely going to be in a poor state. So if we go back, maybe, I don't know, let's say 100 years, my great-grandparents, they lived off the land. The toxicity around them wasn't so big. There weren't EMFs. The food was nutritional food. So their body was getting the nutrition in. And then with that, the liver, or whatever the detox organ that you want to look at, was able to detoxify at a competent place, a competent way. Now, today, it's a lot worse. We've got high toxicity levels of unnatural substances, talk about plastics, talk about the pharmaceuticals, talk about the petrochemicals, and that's all coming into our body. Our body is a biological system, and a lot of these poisons are what they call lipophilic. They love fat. So these toxins go into the fat, all right? And they are kind of safe. So you can have toxins in your body for years and years and years. The body uses it as a protocol to, well, we've got that huge big problem and we're just going to put it away somewhere, and it hides it in the fat. Okay. So theoretically, you are kind of okay. You might say, especially from a lady's perspective, you might say, oh, I'm struggling to lose this weight. The body doesn't want to lose the fat, because if it loses the fat, it's got to eliminate, and it's got to, then you're exposed to this toxin again. That's why a lot of this is happening. So I hope that's going to help with the ladies. They're not going to feel so distraught and under the weather because they're just not losing the weight. there are other things that you can do to speed it up. Okay. So now if you take a regular detox, they're taking all these supplements and now they start to get these detox reactions. Oh, I'm so nauseous, or I'm vomiting, or this mucus is just coming up, or I'm so fatigued, I can't, I'm asleep on my feet. And if you're into that and you can cope with that, carry on. But it's really not comfortable and you're going to think twice or thrice before you do your next detox. All right. You can still get some good results from them, but it is quite harsh. And if I just put it into perspective today, we're so busy, we can't afford to get into that state. So let's enter in with a homeopathic detox. When we look at homeopathy, let's go back a bit before all the science was so big and good. We just look at it from a natural perspective. Homeopaths used remedies or herbs, and they would supply the body with a substance that would have an effect to detoxify the toxins. Now, how would we know, Mary, that we would need to use chelidonium for the liver, or you want to use, something for the prostate? We didn't have all the science. So what they would do is they went on something called the Doctrine of Signatures. And this kind of states it can be from fruits or vegetables or herbs. It states that there's a pattern that this fruit resembles a body organ. Okay, and because of that, it makes sense. I'm going to use that fruit or that herb to detoxify that body organ. So, for example, if we look at a carrot, if you slice a carrot, it looks like the human eye. Well, carrots are good for vision, that type of thing. Or if you look at the homeopathic remedy, Tarantula hispanica, it's a Spanish spider. They're very sensitive to drum beats, and that remedy, the patient is oversensitive to music, that type of thing. Gelsemium, the yellow flowers, the yellow is the bitter that acts on the liver. So it's good for jaundice, and we can carry on. Kidney beans help the kidneys, etc., etc. So that's how it was before, and well, all our ancestors, they kind of made it through, and it was fine. Now we enter science, and science thinks it knows everything, and it's bigger, better, faster type thing. Well, in many ways it is. What they've found out is that the liver, we don't just say detoxification, the liver has 3 phases of detox. Now, let's have a look at what is detox? Detox is where you are taking a substance, we can call it a toxin, okay? It can be a toxin that you get from the outside that comes into the body, or it can be a toxin that through the body's metabolism, it has become toxic, like ammonia. When you're breaking down protein, you're going to get ammonia. That needs to be detoxified, all right? So we've got these toxins, and now how are we going to detoxify it? There's 3 phases of detox. The first phase is the one that occurs in the liver, and the liver needs to make this substance, this toxin, less toxic. Mm-hmm. So it may take a fat-soluble substance, a fat-soluble toxin, and make it water-soluble. That's very easy. Now I can just pee it out. Okay. I want to use those 3 phases of detox as an analogy, as if you're doing your washing. So the first phase, you've got to take your washing and you've got to put it into the different colors so it doesn't run. That's phase 1. Phase 2, you put it in the washing machine and you wash. And phase 3 is you hanging it on the line. So phase 1 is where we take this toxin and we detoxify it, we make it less toxic. And so it is made into a water-soluble thing that can be eliminated. Almost like an oxygen bleach. All right. So you have a stain on your clothes, and then when you wash it, it washes out, it comes off the clothes, and it goes into the water, and the water is eliminated, and you've got that clean shirt again. Right. Now, that can happen and occur with many toxins, and that's fine. Right. The problem with phase 1 is you get what's called an oxidation reaction, and let's use a colloquial term for that. Have you heard of people are always into, yes, I want to be healthy, I'm going to take my antioxidants. Okay. So an antioxidant stops oxidation. I'm going to take my vitamins. Right. Now, when your oxidation and your reduction isn't balanced, you're going to get inflammation happening. oh, my arthritis is really bad. Your oxidation is wrong, or it's over the top, and these symptoms are happening. Now, you want to get that back so you don't have that. I'm going to take my antioxidant. So in phase 1, the body needs antioxidants, otherwise you're going to have this inflammation. The other big contender there is the element, it's not an element, glutathione. Glutathione is used to detoxify. So it stops this oxidative stress from happening, so you don't get the inflammation and the body's able to detoxify. Now, let's go up a step. When you have can I call it a very serious toxin, that phase 1 just won't do it. Oh, one step back. When this phase 1 is not balanced, you can get cancer forming because of this oxidative stress. And cancer is everywhere. So you can see people's detoxification isn't balanced. So now we go to phase 2. That is when you put your washing in the washing machine, and that is to take care of the very serious toxins. What it does is it makes them less toxic. So again, they can be eliminated. That's phase 2. Great. We tick the box and everything should be fine. Now, if phase 1 and phase 2 are not working in unison, you're going to get that oxidation problem happening and you're going to get sick, actually. So you sometimes have to slow down phase 1 or speed up phase 1. Now you get phase 3. Phase 3 is when you hang the clothes up on the line. Phase 3 is just getting the toxins out. So this is common sense. I've got a toxin inside me, and while we've gone through phase 1 and phase 2, but it's still inside me. You need to get it out. So how that happens through the bile, through the gallbladder. So you've got to make sure that your bile flow is good, your gallbladder is working well, and it gets squirted into the intestine and through the feces, and you eliminate it. Phase 1, 2, and 3 done, and you have detoxified. So using homeopathy, it's great. It's gentle, and when you have the process of the phase 1 or the phase 2 that is not working at optimum, the homeopathic remedy doesn't go too far ahead or doesn't lag too far behind, so you don't get those detox symptoms. Okay. And the detox is flowing smoothly. One other thing that I can let's get a bit specific here with phase 2 is there are different pathways of phase 2. So phase 2 will detoxify different toxins. So looking at the first one, that is the glutathione. That is where you're going to be detoxifying the pesticides. And it's everywhere today, the pesticides and the pharmaceutical drugs. And then we get it's called glucuronidation. So the glucuronidation helps us to detoxify the estrogen pathway, and it helps us to metabolize drugs. And because of this, your estrogens are balanced, and your risk of estrogen or hormone cancers reduces. And that goes, estrogen dominance is the beginning stage of going through to that. So it's going to rebalance that estrogen dominance as well. So you're going to use your homeopathic remedies, maybe the sepias, the folliculinums, the sulfurs, and obviously, take it specifically to what the person's individual symptom picture is. Then here's another interesting pathway. It's called the amino acid conjugation, and it's where the body uses amino acids to detoxify these toxins and neutralize them. And the two major amino acids are glycine and taurine. Now, interestingly, if you look at the pesticide Roundup or Glyphosate, it's everywhere in America, and so you literally have no choice but to take it in. And what it does when it comes into your body, it takes out the glycine. All right. And now your body cannot detoxify.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to make sure that is working properly. And you're going to find that in illnesses or conditions, big ones where you've got ADHD. Okay. So you always want to look and see, is that person, have they got glyphosate toxicity? because the ADHD, the glycine helps to rebalance the behavioral activities and the concentration. So you can see, yes, you can use homeopathy, and when you're looking at the ADHD, you're going to look for the symptom picture to fit it, but this is going to give you a little bit of a tip. Okay, maybe I need to look for their toxicity, or maybe I need to do a glyphosate detox. Are you with me? And remember, always, you want to make sure that the gallbladder is working properly. Remember, we want that bile to be taking out. That's phase 3 of the detox. The bile must be removing all those toxins.
So just remind us, Anthony, how will we know our gallbladder is working and the bile is doing what it's meant to do? Or would there be symptoms that arise if it wasn't working? What are we looking for?
Absolutely. So they call that biliary sludge. There's stuff happening in the gallbladder. It's not operating at optimum. You might start getting migraine headaches, okay? Abdominal pain, nausea. Also, the gallbladder it works on your emotions. So if you've got a lot of suppressed emotions, you're going to maybe be getting gallbladder issues. So look at that, and if you see hints of that, make sure your gallbladder is working properly. So make sure that your bowels are working every day, okay? That your stool is not a white or very light color. Those are all symptoms of your gallbladder not doing what it should be doing. Right.
So would you be looking at those symptoms? Obviously, with homeopathy, we're looking at the whole picture. So would we be helping support these organs at the same time? Would we work on these first? How would your timeline go? Or am I jumping the gun here and need to?
No, I mean, that's an interesting question to ask. You know, my approach is I take everybody that comes to see me, they are ill. Okay, so there's something wrong. There's some detox pathway that is not open. Okay, so let's take that example. So they come to you and they've got tummy pain and maybe they've got a migraine headache. You're definitely going to jump onto the liver and gallbladder. So you're going to look at homeopathic remedies that do that. You're going to look at the chelidonians, the brionias, okay? And you can hone it in quite specifically with their symptoms, all right? And maybe then you use a low potency to drain. So they call that homeopathic drainage, draining. And after a period of 1 or 2 months, the lady comes back to you and she says, "Oh, you know what? I used to get migraine headaches twice a week. I've only got it once this month, and that was around my period." And it goes like that. Then you stick your chest out. Wow, this was good. She's really over the moon with it. That's a very simplified version of what I'm giving you. There's often multiple issues.
Yeah, okay. but what you're saying now is obviously when we are choosing a remedy for a client and we say, okay, you're going to be taking chelidonium, quite often we don't say why, do we? We don't say we're going to really help clear the liver, clear the gallbladder. Yes. We need to do this.
Yes, I think we are so used to that. Well, this is our job. We just know it. It's automatic. Yeah. And we forget that the patient actually, this is so many people that are new to homeopathy. It's like, wow, how does he know that? Or, that type of thing. So you've actually got a very big point there. You've got to explain everything. And people are very, very intrigued with it, and they want to test drive their body with this, and they feel very proud. I'm under the support of a homeopath, and we're doing this and we're doing this detox. It's a talking point at dinner parties, etc. And they've got a focus now, because we're talking about people who are sick, and now we're getting them to get into the present with what's doing and getting involved in their bodies. And here's the big thing. A lot of people are scared, now I'm feeling sick, I'm taking this remedy, or not the remedy, I'm taking the supplement or whatever, I'm feeling nauseous. So that's where the homeopathic remedy is brilliant. You don't often get those symptoms. And if you do, as you know, Mary, you maybe up the potency, or you change the serology on how you're prescribing it, and it's sorted out. Yeah. So very gentle, very effective, and what can I say? People, they love it.
And of course, individualized. So how you react to your remedy will indicate what we need to do next, whether we need to change that potency, change the dose, change the remedy, whatever. But every symptom is a message, isn't it? And it's coming to tell us something. And what I love about it is to help people start then to understand the fact that each symptom is a message, and everybody can start learning what these mean for their body, because it is so individualized.
Absolutely. I want to share a little, what I call it, a case history of testimony. I had a lady, she was suffering with depression, okay, and her confidence wasn't so good. And we started, I can't even remember what I gave her or what it was, but we started on the program. And 2 months later, she called me, and she was in a state, and can I help her? And she'd been crying the whole day. So we went through the whole thing, and she was feeling very sorry for herself. And I tried to show her, I said, can you not see how far you've come? And I started to point out how things had changed. She looked at me, she said, you know, she went, you're so right. 3 months ago, I never would have reached out to anyone. I would have just stayed in my little hole and felt sorry for myself. And that is such an amazing indication of how homeopathy changes on such deep levels. But until you've experienced it, the people they can't understand that, because they are so tuned into Western medicine.
Yeah.
And I really believe homeopathy is going to rise in leaps and bounds now. People are getting it.
They're starting to ask questions, aren't they? And wonder why with Western medicine they have to keep taking medicines. You know, they don't hold, they're not addressing a cause, they're just taking the symptom away. And I think slowly people are saying, hang on a minute, this symptom's here for a reason, and I need to understand what it's trying to tell me, and how do we address the cause of it.
Absolutely. They're getting into their own power. They're getting into understanding what their bodies are actually telling them. And like you said, every symptom is your body crying out, trying to show you where it wants to go, what it needs. And for so many years, we don't look at that. I've got a headache, let me take that headache pill. Yes. You know, I've got a nausea, let me take that anti-nausea. And now we're letting it out. So there's been a lot of suppression previously, and now things are coming out.
So what sort of things would we be looking at detoxing? What are you asking? What are you hoping to do with homeopathy?
Okay, so one of the big things that people they're tired. Okay, so you want to get the fatigue away, and how that works is, or why you get fatigue is the mitochondria in your cells, the energy producing organelles in your cells, they've been closed down because of the toxins. You know, if I want to walk through that door behind you and there's a guy standing in the front of the door saying you're not going to go in, well, I can't go in to do what I need to do behind the door to make energy for the cell to work or whatever, and this is what happens. So detoxification is going to be opening up those pathways for the mitochondria to start working. If you want to talk more specifically homeopathy, you're going to definitely start with the liver in most cases. Right? Mm-hmm. But, you know, if someone comes to you and they've got their glands are always swollen, they've probably got pathogens, viruses, bacteria in the glands, you're going to use a remedy maybe like poke at Fataleka, right? And drain that slowly. And that's beautiful when they've suffering frequently from, say, abscesses. But right now there's no abscess, but these glands are swollen. Just drain it with the Fataleka. And these people, they've been going on for maybe months or years, going back to the doctor, and he has to drain the abscess or whatever. Now, wow, it's been 2 months, I've been on this Fataleka, I haven't had a reoccurrence, and the glands are getting smaller, and my energy is better, or, you know, you can actually literally see it in front of your eyes happening.
And then when they've got a little bit more energy, then they're getting ready then to be able to do a detox. They need that bit of extra energy to be able to complete a detox.
Yeah, I mean, as we were talking about those different phases of detox, it costs a lot of money in terms of the cell to move the the elements across those cell membranes to detoxify that toxin. So you do need that energy. So you've got to look at how your patient is responding, and maybe you're not going to start straight away with a detox. Okay, build them up a little bit. Maybe you're going to change certain lifestyle factors. Hey, listen, buddy, you got to get decent sleep for a month before you do this, or these type of things. Get the body to rally around him to be able to do that detoxification in an optimal way. Because when you do, or if you do get these detox symptoms, it freaks a lot of people out, and then they just they give up on the homeopathy. Well, that was a bad thing. They'll say, maybe because they don't understand it. So you just start slowly. And I say this: once you've got the person under your wing, once they've bought in once, they will be with you for life, because wow, it was so amazing. This and this and this happened, and I haven't felt like that since I was 21, or whatever they say.
So they notice big results having cleared away detox in a really gentle way, because that's the great thing about homeopathy, is that it's easy, isn't it? They're easy to take, easy to take with you in your bag if you're going away. It just makes life easy.
And you know what I really love about it is it's not for life. You don't have to keep taking that chronic prescription. Sometimes it's such a mindset change for people, They think they have to take it for the rest of their lives. So it takes them a while to get into this individualized thing. We say, well, if 2 people come in with an abscess, or 2 people come in with nausea, they're not necessarily going to get the same thing. And that takes a couple of weeks or months for the person to realize that.
Yes, that everything, of course, we've got so many remedies, haven't we? And now we've got, of course, as the more environmental issues, more vaccines, more medications that we might need to be clearing as well. So more and more homeopathic remedies, effectively. So more tools in our kit.
Well, I've seen it, can I say, in the last 10 years, the amount of toxicity has just quadrupled. And like you say, I know it's topical now, the vaccine, but you look at the mercuries, you look at the adjuncts that are in all of those things, the pharmaceuticals. It's just gone absolutely crazy at how I see the patients and what they're being given to take, and they just take it willingly and without maybe understanding, and they don't realize the damage that it's doing.
It's been really interesting talking to you, Anthony, because what really is apparent here is that somebody might come to you with a headache or with a pain, and you are actually going to take them back and help them understand why their body is reacting this way and what really needs to be cured. Because it's not the headache that needs it, is it? It's something much deeper that needs to be cleared in order for the head pain to stop.
Exactly. And again, I think a lot of it is so much education, because if you get the person into it and they see it a few times in their lives, in their body, okay, it's so. So I've got a little inside joke. The patient will sit down and they say, oh, I've got, actually today it happened. I had a lady, she had a UTI. She's got this UTI. I said, okay, and why do you have the UTI? No, she doesn't know. I said, no, try again. You know what I'm like. Why do you think, what has happened in your life in the last couple of days or so that it may have stimulated this illness? Then she sits and she thinks, and then they try. They just haven't been trained to understand what's happening with their bodies. But I tell you, most people are really keen and willing and to give it a go. You've just got to give them the time and a bit of education, and they're right there.
Yes, absolutely. And you're right. Just by asking that question, what is your body trying to tell you? What needs to change? Gives everybody the opportunity to really sit down and think about themselves. And unfortunately, in this world, we just don't do that enough, do we?
Absolutely. I think nearly every person, they are willing to try, and most of the time they get it right, but they're just a bit scared or a bit unsure. Can I say that? They haven't been used to expressing what's going on with him.
You're absolutely right. I love it when patients say, oh, you'll find this a bit strange, but, and we think, oh no, we love this, don't we? Because we love those individual symptoms that are different, that are strange, rare or peculiar, because it does help us pinpoint the remedies much easier.
Yeah, the results come fast and furious then, huh?
Perfect, perfect. Thank you so much, Anthony. I'm so sorry. We have run out of time today. I think you're going to have to come back and continue this, because I think we've got a lot more to cover on this subject, really, to get into detoxification a little bit more, and how with homeopathy it is different than most people understand from other forms of detox.
Well, Mary, you just tell me where and when, and I'll be there. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anthony, for going through detoxification with us. It is so useful for people to understand what actually can be done with homeopathy. Next week, we are going to be talking to Roger Savage. Roger Savage is going to talk to us about human chemistry and homeopathy, what we can do if you have had a lot of antibiotics or other medications, vaccinations, that sort of thing. What can you do about it? How can we use homeopathy to help clear your liver of anything that it is holding? So again, detoxification, we are going to continue this subject, talking with a few more homeopaths. I hope you can join us. Look forward to seeing you then.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode and look forward to listening to our next one. Please don't forget to follow our podcast on your chosen channel, and please do leave us a review so we can continue to share homeopathy with as many people as possible. If you do have any questions, please do reach out to us on any of our social platforms mentioned in the show notes. We at Homeopathy 24/7 hope to empower you on your natural health journey.